everyone, and welcome to Bike Like a Dog. And this is truly a welcome back because after being on foot for 3 months after my accident, I finally have my new bike, a CFMOTO Ibex 450, or for those of you outside of the US, an Ibex 450 MT. I guess in America we can't call them by numbers, we have to have names. So there's a reason to like and subscribe though, because all my content from this point we're going to be on this bike, uh, with rare exceptions. I'm going to beg your indulgence a little here because I was not expecting these things to hit dealerships quite this soon. I really wasn't expecting them for about another month. And so I didn't really have my gear ready to go, with my comms all tested out and everything. And yeah, I was shocked, I tell you, when I was contacted on Thursday, which was January the 30th, that they'd come in. So yeah, this is my first ride with my new comms after replacing my helmet and comm unit and all that kind of stuff after the accident. And so as a result, my comm wasn't connected to the X4 camera. I do have footage from the Senna 50C comm unit later, um, but because I finally figured out how to turn it on when I was about 5 miles from home, but it's very limited. I also have my music playing in the background, so yeah, it's just not usable. So in order to get some of this the video of my ride home, though, I just figured, well, I'll just go ahead and do this one as a voiceover, and I'll do some live rides later. And when I say live rides, where I'm recording as I'm riding as opposed to a voiceover. By the way, big shout out to Northeast Georgia Motorsports for contacting me. I will put a link to their site, um, in the description of all of the different dealerships that I contacted. And now I didn't contact all of them, but of the ones I did, Northeast Georgia Motorsports are the only ones who took my information and said they'd contact me when the bikes came in. And then they did it. They actually did it. I believe these guys are the ones that Chase on Two Wheels uses when he's doing CF Moto rides. I think this is the dealership of choice for him. I'm not sure. I just know I've seen them in the background sometimes when he's been picking up a, like I think when he picked up his Ibex 800. I think that's where he got it. Anyway, so that's, sorry, didn't mean to beat that dead horse. Anyway, um, I had actually already checked all the websites for all the dealers around me within like 150 miles uh, that Thursday morning to see if any of the 450s had come in yet, and they had not. So I was really surprised when Northeast Georgia Motorsports called me just before lunch, or not called me, they actually texted me just before lunch saying that they had one. Or they had more than one actually. They said they'd come in. I was like, whoa. Now, I ultimately didn't purchase from them because they're almost 80 miles away, which is at least a 90-minute drive from outside Atlanta on the southwest side to their dealership that's well above Atlanta, up 85 on the northeast side. So it's really probably closer to a 2-hour drive with normal traffic on the interstates, which, because I'd be on that bike and I'm limited to 4,000 RPM, I couldn't take it on the interstate. So it probably would have been more like 2.5 hours or more to ride that thing back home. On the other hand, I got a dealership only 30 miles away that also got them in. So I immediately called them, discovered that they had them, put money down on it, put down a deposit, and I picked it up on Saturday, February the 1st. While I was picking it up, they said that they had been limited to ordering 8 units. So they had 4 gray ones and 4 of the Zephyr blue ones. The salesman said that he'd spoken with another dealership and they also had been limited to 8 limits. So it sounds like everybody had that 8 unit limitation. By Saturday, 4 of their 8 units were already sold. Um, Now, of all the dealerships around that I was checking, only 4 got them. As I said, one is 30 miles away northwest of us, one is 80 miles away northeast, another one's 90 miles west, another one's 160 miles south, and another one's 155 miles north. Meanwhile, there were another 15 or so dealers in my scope that didn't get any yet. So it sounds like CF Moto's kind of spreading them out geographically, kind of putting them in some dealerships that, with some spacing between them so that, there's a bike within 30 to 60 miles of you at some dealership. I'm sure the other dealerships are going to be getting them in upcoming shipments. But otherwise they could have plastered them all in Atlanta, and then nobody outside of Atlanta would have any. So they have to be judicious about how they distribute their supply, I'm sure, across the country. Uh, so, if you want one of these bikes, you need to jump on them when they come into a dealership near you because they are flying out. From what I see, one of those dealerships only has 2 left, another one only has 2 or 3. So, yeah, they started with 8 and they're dwindling quickly. Um, that it sounds like those things may all be gone within 1 to 2 weeks of them receiving them. Um, Now, maybe demand will be satisfied by the end of the riding season, uh, in which case, just like my video that was talking about, the end of the model year, you can get some great deals. So it's possible that next January or February, you may be able to get a deal on the 2025s. Um, but I just don't know that there are going to be any left. Or if there are, I just don't know if they're going to be, what kinds of deals they're going to be doing. So, but you can certainly, if you're not in an urgent need, to get one and you want to wait and, wait until the kind of the end of the riding season, see if they come out with deals, see if they will kind of negotiate with you because right now they don't really need to negotiate because those bikes are moving. So they're kind of like, hey, if you won't pay our price, somebody else will. So they're not really in a negotiating mood on these new bikes. They know they're hot. They know they can ask what the full price. So they're doing full MSRP with all the fees and everything like that, which means that out the door for me here in Georgia, it was around 8,300. I've seen some other guys that have put theirs up in Colorado, and another guy did one. I don't remember where his was, where they showed their invoice, and and their junk fees were a little bit different. Their taxes were different, things like that. So it's going to depend on the dealer you're working with and the tax district you're in and all that kind of stuff. Um, but anyway, uh, I am pretty excited because I have upcoming a 70 plus degree weather week. I mean, how awesome is that? The new bike comes in, and I've got a week where it's supposed to be 70 degrees or better every day for like 5 to 7 days. And even then, it's only dropping down to like in the 50s. So for me, where I'm going, yeah, and then it's going to get cold. It's going to be like 50. Some of you are like, I would kill for 50-degree weather to go riding in because if it was 50 degrees, I would be out there. And by the way, 50 degrees, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I talk about riding season, and in Georgia, it's pretty much always riding season. But I'm going to stick in a video right here just to let you see the what it looked like a couple of weeks ago, which was the only couple of days where it wasn't riding season. So here's that.
But
Okay,
not me.
now, so I'm going to be riding this week. I'm going to be recording. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you can get a feel for what these CFMOTO Ibex 450 is all about. And I'm going to leave you with another shot of the from the X4 with the sound turned up so that you can, even though I didn't have it connected with my Sena 50C comm unit, it was picking up the sound. So as I start off, you can hear that throaty growl before the wind just takes over and you can't hear it anymore. So we'll see y'all next time. Bye.